PKA 642. Guests had trouble. No guests tonight, just the boys. You'll be up till tomorrow.
Dude, I made a mistake. Well, not a mistake. I felt like I had to today. Like, I don't drink caffeine afternoon hardly ever, but like 4 p.m. came around and I was just tired and dragging ass today and was like,
why don't you take your daily nap?
I don't take naps during the, they throw me for a loop. I don't like naps.
How do you get through the day?
Well, I usually get through just staying awake.
The real question is, what were you doing awake before 6 p.m.
Just raw dog in life, huh?
But I had a coffee, 150 milligram caffeine coffee at like 4:50 p.m., which is later than I've drank caffeine in years. It's a can and it says 150. It's a little like coffee shot little thing with like 0 calories or maybe 5 calories. I don't know. And I had that and I shouldn't have drank the whole thing, but I was like, I'm very tired and I need very energy. And so I like drank all of it. And at like 5:10, 5:15, I'm like, I'm ready for the show. Like I'm ready to like start talking, start doing this. By like 5:30, 5:35, I'm pacing around my house because I'm like, I shouldn't have had the whole fucking thing, you dumbass. Like, I'm like sweaty a little bit, right? I was at the beginning of the show. Like I could feel my hands being a little sweaty from.
I wonder if you'll crash during the show. Like if the last hour you're gonna.
I hope not. We're only an hour and a half left, so I'm gonna have so much fucking trouble falling asleep tonight.
I drink every night. I'll probably have another cup of coffee tonight.
That's insane.
It doesn't bother my sleep. I honestly, it makes me kind of sleepy in a weird way. If I have a cup of coffee late at night, it'll tucker me out. I don't know. There's just coffee in general.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if you drink that much coffee, you're probably just so desensitized to caffeine that it just doesn't really.
I do drink soda like all day, probably a 12-pack of soda a day, and then 3 cups of coffee, maybe something like that.
Okay, that's a shit ton. Yeah, because you don't get caffeine-free soda, do you?
No. What would be the point?
That's what I drink. Caffeine-free Diet Pepsi because I don't want to be up late.
What?
Yeah.
See, that's why
it tastes the same.
That's why you're so bitch made. That a little Starbucks one shot has you trembling, like your little delicate flower about to lose her fucking virginity.
I am a bitch.
Jesus Christ, fucking gonna have to harden you up. You got a new Taylor got a new gaming mouse today. I'm excited. I'm gonna get it. We're gonna be in the pro league soon. We're gonna be hosting our own tournaments. It's gonna be great. Oh yeah, mouse buddies for life now. the Logitech 502 or whatever.
Logitech 502. It's very nice. They need to make mice.
That's what
a little bigger. Yeah, a little bit larger, and that would be more comfortable. I think it'd be easier to.
I do this with my hand. I'm like scrunching these 2 fingers. My ring finger and my little finger have to do kind of a scrunchy thing at the bottom to really wrap my hand around.
Taylor, let me see your mouse.
That's the same one.
Yeah,
we got the wireless pad.
No, I just have the wired one.
Oh, yeah, I also have the wired one.
Wait, that wire unplugs, right?
From the computer if I don't want to use my mouse anymore.
Yeah, it's wired.
No, I wanted to plug there too, but I just take that out.
I hope this doesn't pull out.
No, mine is just the wired kind.
That would be so upsetting if this came out of my mouse right now.
I feel like it's not, and you just don't know. When you buy the mouse pad, you replace the weight in the bottom with the battery. Do you have this circle in the bottom?
No.
Oh.
No, I don't.
No. This is an older mouse. This is a wired mouse. I prefer a wired mouse. I don't want to.
I think
lose my mouse.
Oh, never mind.
Now it's attached.
I thought you were going to talk about the delay, which is like I guess a real 2012 complaint that's been solved many times. But yeah, I like I feel like the wire and its differing levels of resistance as I try to pull the mouse around messes with my aim. But the wireless is free flowing and I can aim better.
Mine's like loosely hanging off the back of my desk here, so like it doesn't
it never compresses when you ask it to bend more, or like sometimes when I pull it towards me it has to drag over the corner, like the back edge of the desk.
Did you leave the weights in your mouse?
It's been replaced with a rechargeable battery.
It's probably pretty heavy too. I only ask because my mouse is very heavy, so I wouldn't want it like having to like jerk it to like get some slack or anything, but I don't notice any resistance really, and
I don't either.
I'm so bad at keeping things charged. It would be frustrating if I ever wanted to. I guess you just plug the charging cable in and that works. Yeah, so that's how it works.
Yeah, or in my case, so I know you like a gigantic mouse pad that is basically your whole desk.
It literally is.
Yeah, but I have a oversized mouse pad that is the recharging wireless recharger. So I haven't thought about mouse charging in like 4 years. It just lives on the mouse pad and charges it.
You got this gaming mouse and you just don't game anymore. Like really at all.
Well, now you're just saying hurtful things.
That's okay, Woody. You've just moved on to a different period in your life where train conductory, motorcycling, being the dark wing of the night,
fish and the fish, yeah,
and being a reef keeper.
He doesn't have time to learn.
Jackie and I rode the motorcycle to a fish store today and bought snails, and then rode home.
They had quite an experience riding home.
Yes, they did.
Never been.
They sat in the top case on the gold.
I just imagine them with little helmets on, sitting on the seat behind.
like it.
She's riding bitch, and then the slugs are riding bitch behind her, like hanging on to her a little bit too.
They're all jiggling around.
I'm picking
you guys. Do we have the same keyboard, right? Corsair something or other.
I've got a Logitech Huntsman. It's just a cheap ass. Like I just really don't care when it comes to that stuff. If it feels good, I'm okay. But I know that I could break this keyboard over my knee right now, and I wouldn't break a sweat.
Have you had it for a long time?
A year and a half, 2 years, something like. When I bought the last PC, the big red over here, that's 2080 Ti or whatever it is.
What do you use that for now?
It takes up a bunch of space on my desk here, and I also. Sometimes I use it to charge my phone.
You have a full desktop to charge your phone.
This is plugged into a $3,000 computer that I use to charge my phone and vape cartridges. What I should be, if I stream, it'll be a dual streaming setup. And if I had a loved one who wanted to get into PC gaming with them, then we could make a little LAN center here. That's the idea. And if I wanted to do any sort of video making, look at that. There's a whole nother very powerful PC.
Dude, I thought about
quite cutting edge for gaming.
I thought about the LAN thing too. Because my old PC isn't like nice, but it has a 2060 Super, so it can still like play most shit. And so like that can play Warhammer, not in the same quality of this, but like
you talk about like growing up to be a fucking. I want to talk about growing up to be a goddamn champion. How people train their children to be fucking winners. I love it when I see it, and I hate when people give people two shits about it, like they wouldn't do the same thing if their kid had any talent. You know, Shroud grew up with a LAN center in his basement.
That's not surprising because his
dad was also into gaming and built his son a LAN center downstairs where all the neighborhood kids could come over and have fucking tournament gaming in the basement.
What cool!
Of course, he grew up to be Shroud.
Yeah,
like what else was he gonna be? You know what I mean? Like he didn't really have anywhere else to go.
Is he still killing it as a streamer? Is he as big as he ever was?
Yeah, he's real big.
Congrats, Shroud.
Well, he's not a personality streamer. He's like a talent streamer with gaming. So like that, I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm saying like those people tend to last longer. It seems where it's like, who are you going to watch? Well, I'm going to watch this guy who is also slaughtering people in this game, and then when this game comes out, he'll slaughter them in that.
I hear what you're saying, but I think that people like him too. You know,
I've never watched.
You might start by like you might get addicted to him by watching the montages and the great moments, but after a while, it's like
at this point.
Say it again.
I like his personality more at this point. I saw this little clip the other day, and it was like, Shroud makes so much money, he doesn't know how much things cost anymore. and it was like multiple little clips of him, and like, I can't remember what he held up. He's like, yeah, there's only like 30 of these. They're $8,000 a piece. I think I have 4. I think I have 5. Oh yeah, that one too. It's just really no concept
50
of the value of money anymore because those guys make tremendous amounts of money when you're getting paid to play the game and then paid to play. He gets paid to play the game twice, right? They're like, will you please play our game? We'll give you this large sum of cash money. And then the audience obviously continues to pay him to play the game as well. So
I used to think that was bad. Like if Shroud's endorsement matters to me, I'm very influenced by influencers. Like I'm that guy. And but if it's like a paid if he's only playing this game and he's kind of pretending to like it because he's getting paid to, I don't know.
I think the pretending to like it thing would be the difference. I like that those guys. I mean, I still watch a bunch of Jack Frags, and he's playing whatever's hot. And he's like, oh, this week I'm getting an early shot at Dark Tide. I didn't mind that he was playing the game that I love and like know so much about as sort of a gun for hire in the video making field, because he showed it plenty of love. He played it for a couple days. He was right in his review, accurate in his review, and then he moved on to the next game. And I always watch it.
Is that the one that's like that Dark Soul?
Dark Tide is the one that you were gonna play, but you didn't. The one where we smashed the rat. It's the sequel to Vermintide.
Oh, I did. I played a couple rounds.
You did play. That's right.
And my computer broke, and then I didn't get back into it. Yeah.
So lame. So lame. I think
you had me right there. I was there leveling up my character so that I could be an asset to the squad, and then I went took me weeks to get that computer fixed.
Yeah. I'm waiting on them to update that game to go back to it. But I think there's a mod now that you can use to have a scoreboard, so I might play it at some point. But we're really into these RTSs. I think I know what the next game is I'm going to expose Taylor to. I'm like his drug dealer.
Tell me, but don't tell him.
We started out with a little MDMA. That'll relax and make him feel like he's loved. But we're about to slide into some hard drugs. Company of Heroes 3. Company of Heroes 3. Oh, we're going to Rust, but we got to go into guns slowly with an RTS, a top-down World War II RTS. We're moving our troops around. He and I used to play a bunch of Company of Heroes 2, and the third one came out this year or late last year, and it's very nice next-gen graphics. So I think I'll go to that next. Although he does like the fantasy side of it's much more played than the game we play right now on the multiplayer level.
Yeah.
It's not that the game we play right now is a bad game or an unpopular game. It's just that the single-player side of it is where people seem to gravitate. Much more so than the multiplayer. Although there is a scene there for that too, with YouTubers and cash prize tournaments and that sort of thing.
Have you been riding your bike much?
Whenever the weather's good, I probably ride at least once a week. I think last Tuesday, I went out when it was really nice because I think I rode the day we did PKN. I remember that thing.
Last night, my friends it wasn't last night. It was 4 p.m. And they're like, hey, Woody, we're riding. You want to come? And a couple times they've invited me, but they do it Facebook Messenger. And I see it 6 hours later. And I'm like, oh, man, please invite me next time. I didn't see this until just now. I was doing whatever. I saw it. It was 30 minutes. So I did it. I jumped it. I hopped on my bike. I raced over there and we went riding. And I thought it was going to be spirited riding on the street. It wasn't. They went straight to the dirt. And it got rough. 2 foot deep mud that people were stuck in. My friends were falling and getting their bike stuck where we're grabbing it and trying to pull them out of the mud. And it was long dark. It was 9:30 p.m. or something like that. And we're deep in the woods and we're lost.
I can smell the steam on your exhaust.
Right. But it was a blast after it was finished and it was kind of successful. Well, I was really glad I went out last night. I rode again today.
I would not invest in trains. I think that trains is a great hobby for.
Do you really?
No. I would not invest in trains. You're against the rules. I'm calling the brown shirts.